Good morning. You may not know it. This is Halloween, and it is rainy, and the weather is changing. And I want you to know that we are ready for the weather changes already. I heard from a weather person this morning that there may even be some wintry mix or some snow on the top of the mountains this evening. You need to know that we're prepared. And I want you to know that we will communicate with you the same ways we have in the past through our Connect Ed and also through WLOS and through local radio stations. So you just be prepared because weather around here can change on a minute's notice. Today we're coming to you from a little bit of a different place. I guess you can see that in the background because we are literally in a closet. And the reason that we're in a closet is because I want you to see all of the interesting things that are on the shelves behind us. They're kind of unusual, from large bags of baking soda to crayons and markers and paper, traditional things that you would see in a classroom, and then some non-traditional. And that's because I want to introduce you in even more detail today to our after-school program. And let me encourage you, after you've finished viewing this video, I want you to go to the bottom of the page and hit the link of a video production that Joe Holt and the after-school folks have already put together that will show you the amazing things that are going on in our after-school program. Today I have our director, Regina Ash. She has been tasked with making the after-school program run and be funded, and she's kind of the principal of the program. Regina, if we were in an elevator and I were new, and I were asking you, what are some of the great things that are happening in Swain County? You would want to talk about the after-school program.
I definitely would.
You would only have 2 minutes, though. So describe the after-school program for me in 2 minutes.
Mark, our after-school program in Swain County Schools is funded by a 21st Century Community Learning Centers grant. That's a federal title grant, just like a lot of our other title money. We serve right now 324 students at both of our elementary schools and the middle school. This program not only helps our students academically, but it also makes sure that a lot of their homework, if not all of their homework, is done before they go home at night, which is a feature that our parents love. But we try to make sure that our program extends our kids' learning and in a fun and very engaging way. And it's not, STEM is a huge component of it. That's why you see the kinds of materials that you see behind us. But we also do things with kids for social emotional learning, for entrepreneurship and financial literacy, for arts, and just other things that they may not get to spend quite as much time during the day as they would like to. And our kids really enjoy it.
So let me ask you to explain something, because in education, as in all fields, we have a tendency to use jargon or acronyms. Mm-hmm. And you used one just a minute ago. Many people may understand, but some may not. Explain what STEM means.
Okay, well, STEM stands for the acronym Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. Sometimes you may even hear it referred to as STEAM, and the extra A in there is for the arts. So it's combining all of those different disciplines into, the real world never separates out math and science. It's,
right.
It's used together. It's part of the things that just work together. And so that's what STEM does. And our kids, by participating in STEM activities, whether it's something with toothpicks and candy corn this time of the year, or whether it's with robotics and much more sophisticated types of things, the kids get to explore what it's like in the real world.
And so, if we were in an elevator and I were to say, describe some of the things that happen in after school, you would immediately have pictures that come to your mind, memories that come to your mind of activities. Describe a couple of those things that are very vivid for you.
Okay, well, a lot of people have heard of an escape room where you're solving puzzles, putting pieces together, to escape from a location. That's how they work. we have some after-school teachers who have put together a social-emotional learning escape room where the kids are solving puzzles to spell out phrases that are good for helping us with our social-emotional, with composing ourselves if we're upset about something. Maybe like a phrase like, take a deep breath. Okay, and our teachers have done this with 4th and 5th graders in after school, and the students absolutely had a blast because they are working in pairs or small groups, and they're solving these puzzles, and they are figuring out these phrases, and at the end of the activity, they get to find out, did they escape or not? That's one such activity. Another one is, just because I really love STEM, such as our robotics program. We may not go and compete at a large or faraway level, partly because of expense, but our students who work in that program are not only, and I'm saying work because the kids are playing and they don't know it's work, but they truly are, but they are learning coding, they are learning engineering and how parts of a machine work. I mean, they are just so engaged, and they work as a team, and it is just so similar to when we are adults, when we are working together with other people, with other colleagues, and it's just that it's fun for them. So it's not work to them, but it's real world.
And you brought up an interesting point. I was having a conversation with a student yesterday. She's a 6th grader, and I said, so what was your favorite part of the day today? And she said, math, because we didn't do anything. And I said, wait a minute. Tell me what you did in class. And she went on to describe the activities. She did work. She did things. She just didn't know she was working because it was so fun for her that it felt like play. And in some ways, that's what after school does for our students. It allows them to move into different areas and think differently with a little bit of a different set of guidelines.
Exactly.
So how do you find people to work in the after school program? Who are your teachers?
Well, we have attempted earlier last year to try and get more community folks who might be interested in a little bit of part-time work, but we didn't have a whole lot of takers for that. But primarily our after-school program in Swain County Schools are our teachers and our teacher assistants. We also have some other folks. We have some admin assistants who work as a sub in the after-school program. We try to have a regular day teacher or a certified teacher in students' classrooms at least 2 or 3 days a week, so that if we have a non-certified person, at least we have a teacher who's helping out with planning. But we have one of our cafeteria managers. We've had I'm trying to think who else in the school system. Our counselors work in our after-school program, so it's a very robust program, and everyone who does it loves it and is doing it because they're passionate about helping our students and helping our parents and community, because a lot of our parents need to work those longer hours. So anyway, we have a great staff. They're amazing.
You said this was grant funded,
Mm-hmm.
and that tells me that probably the school system, and I know this for a fact, the school system couldn't fund after school if we didn't have that grant. How long does that grant, the 21st Century Grant, how long does that last?
The grant cycle was 3 years, and we are currently in our 3rd year of the grant cycle. We found out yesterday that we definitely have another grant that we will be applying for. It will be probably late winter or early spring, so that we would be able to get the funding to continue for the next 3 years after this. But it's a highly competitive grant. And the grant is $400,000 a year, which sounds like a whole lot of money. It sounds like a ton of money to me, but when you're talking about serving 324 students and you're trying to keep your class sizes to under 15 students,
Mm-hmm.
that's a whole lot of teachers and teacher assistants needed to run the classes. So we stretch our money as far as we can, and the local school system and other small local grants help fund a lot of the materials that we have on hand so that our teachers have materials to do STEM activities or other after-school activities. But we have got to have advocacy from folks to help us with funding. We get funded through Congress or not.
Right.
And Congress passes the money on to North Carolina Department of Public Instruction, and they handle the grant process.
And so I suppose that in order to help persuade Congress or the people who approve grants, that it would be helpful if the community could show support.
Exactly.
Is there a way that that can happen?
There's a website called After School Alliance. It's afterschoolalliance.org, I think. I didn't double check that. But they have a petition online where parents just, type their name and put where they live, and then it goes to your elected representatives. After School Alliance sends it on to your elected representatives to let them know how much you support the after-school programming in Swain County Schools.
And so what I'm going to ask Joe to do is not only put a link to the after-school video, but also put the link to that opportunity for support from the community, and we'll also put that at the bottom of the screen. Kind of like
That's
one of those
great.
things, like one of those TV things where you point to it, that kind of
Right.
stuff.
That's great.
And let me encourage everyone who is watching, please, first of all, watch the video, because when you do, you're going to see our students, and they actually narrate it and tell you all about it. It is an amazing piece of work, and if it doesn't pull at your heartstrings, I just think I don't think there's any option it'll pull at your heartstrings. Go to watch the video, and then sign up on the After School Alliance or whatever that is that we're going to put down there, and help us ensure that we can have the after-school program for years to come, because as Regina said, our community needs this, our parents rely on this, and it really is benefiting our students in a lot of ways. Regina, thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. And I want to thank our parents. We have amazing parents who support our program.
We don't say thank you enough to the people who work behind the scenes, and you're one
That's
of
true.
those.
No, my staff.
Yeah. Well, if you'll pass that on to your staff,
I
too, as
will.
well, from me and from all of us.
They're remarkable. They make everything happen.
So just sharing another part of some of the amazing things that are happening in Swain County, and we'll continue to bring those to you next week and the weeks after that. And until then, have a great day, stay dry and stay warm, and God bless you. Thank you for supporting Swain County Schools.